Assalamu alaikum. Now we are going to discuss about the skeletal analysis. So basically in compound analysis we have three parts: the skeletal analysis, the dental analysis, and the soft tissue analysis. So in the skeletal analysis, which is further divided into sagittal analysis, skeletal analysis is further divided into a sagittal analysis as well as a vertical analysis. In this video, we are going to discuss about the sagittal analysis. In sagittal analysis, we got four angles and three linear measurements. Okay, and we have three linear measurements in this analysis. So we are going to discuss about it in this SAP. So sagittal analysis, before starting it, we first have to draw two lines. First from the NA point to A point. First we will join the NA point to the A point, and the second one NA point to NB point. So it has basically four angles. First one is SNA, second one is SNB, and the third one is SNPOG. Okay, so basically we have four angles and three linear values. The first value, which is S sala to nasion, and from nasion to A point, this angle should be from 80 to 84 degrees. This angle should be 80 to 84 degrees, while the second angle SNB, this angle should be between 78 to 82 degrees. So, and difference between these two angles, SNA and SNB, should be 0 to 4 degrees. So SNA angle should be 80 to 84 degrees. SNB angle should be between 78 to 82 degrees, and the difference between SNA and SNB, which is equal to A and B angle, should be 0 to 4 degrees. And then the SNPOG, this angle should have a value between 77 plus minus 4 degrees. It is this angle is also known as facial angle. Okay, this angle is also known as facial angle, and by these values, what we can interpret that the SNA angle tells about the relationship of the maxilla with the cranial base. That is, if the SNA angle is greater than 84 degrees, then we can tell that the maxilla is more prognathic. It is more anterior to its relationship with the cranial base, so that SNA angle will be larger. So this point will be almost there. So this angle will be greater than 84 degrees. This will tell that the maxilla is prognathic. And if this angle is less than 80 degrees, this will tell that the maxilla is retrusive. The maxilla is posterior to its position. So that this angle will be somewhere here. So this, if maxilla is posteriorly present. Okay. And then the SNB angle, what does this tell? If it is greater than 82 degrees, it will tell that the mandible is prognathic, and vice versa. If the mandible is retrusive, then it will be less than 78 degrees. And the difference between these two should be within this value, 0 to 4 degrees. If this value is greater than 4 degrees, then it will tell us that either the maxilla is retrusive or the mandible is prognathic. And if the A and B angle is greater than 4 degrees, then it is skeletal class 2. In this case, either the angle is greater due to the retrusive mandible, or either it is greater due to the prognathic maxilla. So in both of the cases, the angle A and B angle will be greater than 4 degrees. So if the angle is A and B angle is greater than 4 degrees, then it will be skeletal class 2. It can be any case. It can be due to the retrusive mandible, or due to the prognathic maxilla, or the combination of both. If the angle A and B is less than 4 degrees, then it will be skeletal class 3. Skeletal class 3 in what sense? That if it is in negative value, if it is less than 0, if the A and B angle is less than 0 degrees, then it will tell us that it is skeletal class 3. That it means that either the maxilla is retrusive, either the maxilla is present posteriorly, or the mandible is present more anteriorly, so that the S and B angle is greater than S and A angle. If the angle is protrusive, if the mandible is protrusive, the S and B angle will be greater than the S and A angle, and so that the value will be more in negative value. So it will be lesser than 0 degree, and it will make a skeletal class 3. According to the severity, if A and B angle is between +5 to +6 degrees, then it is mild form of skeletal class 2. If it is between +7 to +8 degrees, then it is moderate form of skeletal class 2. And if it is between 9 degrees to +10 degrees, then it is severe skeletal class 2. Okay, and so vice versa, if angle A and B, this angle, which is the difference between SNA and SNB angle, if it is between -1 to -2 degrees, then it is a mild case of skeletal class 3. Okay, and if it is between -3 to -4 degrees, then it is moderate form of skeletal class 3. And if it is between -5 to -6 degrees, then it is severe form of skeletal class 3. I hope this is clear now, that either the patient has a skeletal class 2 or skeletal class 3 malocclusion. It depends on the A and B value. If the A and B value is less than 0 degrees, then it will be skeletal class 3 case. If it is more than 4 degrees, then it will move towards the skeletal class 2 case. Okay, and by these values you can tell whether the SNA is at anomaly, or if the SNA tells us if the maxilla is on anomaly, and if SNB tells us if the mandible is on anomaly. So these angles tell us about the anomaly of the maxilla and mandible individually, and this one tells the class of the malocclusion. I hope I made it clear to some extent. Now we will talk about the linear measurements. The first measurement is the SN value, the distance between the S and N value. This is the length of the cranial base, X value. This value is known as X value. It is the length of the cranial base. And this value is known as X. It can be anything. It can be 10, like in this diagram, it is almost